like looking at like your general resume on LinkedIn, I mean, obviously you hold a lot of like marketing and design background, right? And I mean, we actually share a commonality in education. I mean, I actually went to a school that you actually taught at a period of time. So I want to kind of talk about like that genre of your life back in like the Art Institute days, and kind of
Yeah.
like how did you get into like the marketing, and how did you like what are you doing now to leverage what you got from back then, and how are you using like that graphic design background now?
Yeah, it's a great question. So for me, it was really interesting. I was living in New York at the time. I was running restaurants in Manhattan. I was in the restaurant business for a very long time. Originally wanted to be a chef. So there's always kind of a creative side to me. And I look back on, when mom was raising me like a veal and I had to sit very quietly, it was either read or draw. So I did a lot of drawing, a lot of coloring, a lot of reading, a lot of comic books. That was kind of an escape for me, which I'm sure same for a lot of people.
Hmm.
I got into that fantasy world, sci-fi, comic books to escape. And I really kind of nurtured that creative side of me. And being a chef, being in the restaurant business, that was part of that. But I was burning out, man. I was burning out. I was still fairly young. Um, Wanted to do something different. And for me, it was either law school or that was it. Basically, at that time, it was law school. So I took the LSATs, scored really high on them, like top 2 or 3% in the country. Got recruited by all these law schools and realized, holy shit, man, I don't want to be a lawyer.
Huh.
All my friends that were lawyers were miserable. They didn't want to do anything. And I was having a conversation with my dad, and I'm like, Dad, I don't know what to do. I mean, I really don't want to be in the restaurant business anymore. Lawyer, I'm good at it, obviously, but I don't know that's what I want to do with my life.
Uh,
And he said to me, it's too bad you never did anything with your art. You were really talented at that. And it never struck me that I could make a living doing that. So I looked into it, and there was an art school in Miami. I had moved from New York down to Miami at that time. I auditioned for it, got a spot, and excelled at it and found, wow, I love this. And when I really look at it, and this is a good thing for those of you that are listening, my experience was I looked at law and I looked at graphic design, being creative. And in law, it was really about destroying. It was arguing, destroying the opposition's position on whatever it was, winning, dominating, conquering. And on the graphic design side, it was creating, making things beautiful and new and whatever. And at that time in my life, that's where I leaned more. So I went into graphic design and ended up having a great career in that. I went from I only did 1 year in art school. I'd already had a degree, and a company down in Miami hired me to be head of product development. I worked with them for many years. Then I founded an internet company right before the dot bomb. We were doing really creative stuff there. Got hired by an entertainment company to be their art director. And they had a magazine. I got involved in magazines. And next thing I know, I'm spinning off. And I had a publishing company, I'm sorry, production company for independent publishers, which was beautiful. I had big name corporations were my clients. I was creating vanity magazines for them. I got to be creative. I got to have a business.
uh,
And from doing that, I fell into journalism. I started writing. And to
uh,
me, it was just from visual to written. It just
uh,
kind of seemed natural. And I started getting into journalism and doing a lot of writing. And after the crash in '09, all my clients decided to stop doing their magazines.
uh,
So I was really just doing the journalism, which was an awesome job, just didn't pay much. So I found myself looking for something else to do. I found a very large company was looking for sales copywriters, which at the time I didn't even know was a thing. And I again had to audition for that. You had to write a whole thing, wrote it, got the job, ended up training with them and thought, wow, I have the writing side, copywriting for marketing, the design angle, I have the design eye and the creativity, and I merged those. And that's what kind of launched that part of my career was using both sides, the written and the design, and then understanding what people want, what they're looking for, what's going to engage them, what's going to hit them here to get them to take action
uh,
and do whatever. So that's kind of how I got started. It was like kind of all over the place and
uh.
then boom, right into that.